Okay, start.
Let's do this.
All right. Oh my God. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. What a great, incredible WrestleMania. Welcome to Bros at Ringside. Yay! Keep stunting everybody, keep on fighting. There's a lot to cover, a lot to go over because WrestleMania was 2 nights, just like NXT TakeOver, and I enjoyed it.
It was something.
It was definitely something. I enjoyed it. I think it was good. We'll give you guys a rating of how we felt about it after. But yeah,
Can 0 be a rating?
Yeah, we have to rate it. So let's go. Let's start with night one. Night one. So the first match is Bobby Lashley
surprisingly
versus Drew McIntyre. That was a great match to start it off with. I'll give him that.
I don't think it was a great match. It was a solid match, but definitely an outcome I didn't expect.
You know what?
Which was good.
All the heels won. I mean, not all the heels, but you know what I mean? Like, it seems like all the heels won. Like this. Yeah. You gotta think about it. You gotta think about it. Literally all the heels won. Except for one.
3.
You gotta count women's tag. That makes it 5. Well, 4. If you count them together, yeah.
So 3. I would say 3, all but 3. And that was all from the first night.
Okay. Well, yeah. Okay, so first night. So Bobby Lashley versus Drew McIntyre. It was a good match. I think because there was a lot of great spots.
Definitely a lot of great spots.
That triple underarm DDT that Drew did on Bobby, I was like, God.
Oh, the future shock?
Oh,
yeah, bro.
The triple one, I was like, yo, when he did that, I was like, it's over. I was like, it's over. It's over.
That would have been pretty quick. I think that match ran for about 20 minutes, which wasn't bad. After that mean ass delay for about a half hour that they had.
Well, the what is it? I forgot. It's not the fire department. I forgot what department it is, but they took everybody out.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you need is a tornado coming by and everybody's outside and getting sucked up. So it's better to be inside. So they had everybody inside. So yeah, that delay needed to happen. I'm glad it passed over and everything. So I'm glad it went off without really major Mother Nature kind of just, fucking everything up. Or not. Well, I mean, just not having a good time. But I actually had friends that were there too. That was really fun. So I like Bobby's match. I like Bobby and Drew's match. I think it was I like Bobby, but the one thing I wanted Bobby to do, because I was watching a recent match, a match 10 years ago that he did with Samoa Joe. Obviously, he was a lot younger, but he was so agile, right? He was so agile. And he did a lot more in 2009. But that is also still 2009. I get it.
So there's a lot of factors that go into that. So not only the fact that he was young around that time, like younger, but you also got to take into consideration that most likely throughout that match he was probably a face. You know what I'm saying? He was a heel during this entire ordeal. And normally due to his size, the almighty Bobby Lashley, he's gonna be a powerhouse more than being quick on his feet and jumping around. He's just gonna try to destroy Drew as quick as he could.
He was still a powerhouse in 2009. Don't get it twisted.
Oh no, yeah, no, of course. But
he was doing powerhouse
high fly. He did a lot of high flying stuff. He moved around a lot faster.
Well, he did move around a lot faster, but he did do a lot of powerhouse moves that I was like, that I was kind of were like wondering where they were going to come out or not, because those powerhouse moves don't look heelish or faces. It was just like they were just strong. So I was kind of wondering where they were in this match, but he sold it for me as much. I think it was. I give all the wrestlers credit, good or bad, because this is the first time in a year that they've got to wrestle in front of fans. It means you got people yelling and screaming, and
that's a spectacle in itself. You know what I mean?
I have to give them credit where credit's due, and I'm going to get to that point when we talk about one of the last match of the night. But I'm gonna get there because it really plays a part. But Bobby and Drew, really great match. Drew's fucking front flip out to outside. Awesome. Awesome.
Well, I mean, he's known for that, so that's cool. That's cool.
But the way,
but again,
how clean
the
match
itself, was pretty solid. The outcome was definitely something that I didn't expect. I really thought that they were gonna give Drew the
win.
Yeah, I thought they were gonna give him the win. The only reason why is because the way it played out with him last year. It was supposed to be a spectacle. He was supposed to be in front of that crowd, and he ended up not being in front of that crowd. So he wasn't crowned a champion the exact way that WWE wanted it in the beginning. You know what I mean? So
my question is, are they gonna keep the crowd now? Like, because this is the first time. Well, besides NXT, this is literally the first time. This is for I enjoyed the match. It was good. It was good to me. I got to give it.
It wasn't a bad match. You know what I'm saying?
It was a good match to start off.
To start off the night, it was a pretty solid match. They definitely had other matches that were kind of terrible. One in particular that we'll talk about in a bit. And especially night two. Night two, I was so not intrigued with night two. But again, we'll get into that.
Wait till we get to night two. We ain't finished night one yet.
All right, so match two was the tag team turmoil match. I never seen so many botches in one match in my entire life in an amount of about 15 minutes. You're supposed to look strong. You're supposed to, show this whole thing about, the women are capable of doing all these great things. I would say they definitely redeemed themselves at night two with that tag team match, but this match was terrible. They had some great spots. Riot Squad, I thought, was going to take it all the way.
I think Riot Squad should have.
They should have taken it all the way, and the fact that they did that, and they gave it to Tamina and Natalia. I mean, I understand why, but at the same instance, like, bro, this is not what we're here for anymore. We're here for the new generation.
But they,
Riot Squad should have taken that, because that match, that there was no botches on their end for the most part. From what I've seen, all the other teams were terrible. Natalia had her botch, Tamina had her botch. You know what I'm saying?
Lana had a botch. Naomi didn't have a botch though. She was the only one that didn't have a botch. She was barely in the match. And here's one thing: like she's one of the best wrestlers.
There was also 2 nip slips in there, if nobody noticed. I definitely peeped that out. One of my boys that was here was like, "Come on, titty," and then a titty came out, and we were like, "Oh shit!"
I mean, not for nothing. Like, Naomi's one of the best wrestlers, and she had no botches.
Natalia?
No, Naomi.
Oh, Naomi. You said Natalia.
No, I said Naomi.
You said Natalia.
You're thinking of Natalia. You're thinking of Natalia. That's
Naomi was decent. She came out, pretty quick. They gave Lana a lot of time in the ring, and she didn't do much. She kept slipping and sliding, but that's not their fault.
That's not
because
their fault.
It was raining. So
yeah.
I get that, but they didn't do a proper job of cleaning up prior to that. So that's what they should have did, and they didn't get a chance to do that.
it's an audible. Not to mention they usually if there's no crowd there, they could do that. But this is a situation where there was a crowd. So
Yeah, so I mean, that's understandable. I can't fault them for that. But even without, them slipping around and stuff like that, there was still basic moves that were botched, flips, climbing up on the top ropes. It was just a mess. And then for
short
Tamina and
jump.
Natalia to come out and just be the powerhouse against the Riot Squad was just super disappointing.
Natalia and Tamina, yeah.
Yeah, I did not agree with that win. That win should have been uh Riot Squads, especially when they came in and just started taking out all the teams. That I liked.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. And
Mhm.
they came out as Joker and Harley. if you
Harley
didn't
Quinn,
notice.
yeah.
Not too many people peeped that. So that was
I
pretty
did
dope.
too. I was like, oh, Joker and Harley Quinn. I was like, that was an odd. Like, oh man, like, yeah. I mean, Naomi don't need to be in a tag team with Lana. She need to
She
be.
don't. She deserves to be
She
in
deserves to
the
be.
single spotlight. So
Yes,
hopefully
she
we'll see
deserves
more
another
of that.
shot. She deserves another shot at the championship, no matter which one it is. Oh wait,
She's on SmackDown, right? Or she on Raw?
I think she's on Raw. Wait, yeah, she's on Raw.
She's on Raw. All right.
Yeah. So even with that said, like I think she deserves to go for another. I think she needs to be a singles competition and actually really go. I know what it is though too. It's like because Lana's, Lana is very.
She can't wrestle. Period. Point blank. And they're trying so hard to push her.
She's
She's
learning, dude.
garbage.
She's
She's not a
still
good
learning.
wrestler. I mean, I give her credit where it's due because she's trying, and she does have some moves that she really pulls out. But I'm
Bro,
gonna
they
tell you
put
this
through
right
they
now:
put her
Bad
through a
Bunny
table.
wrestled way better than Lana has done, and she's been in wrestling for years.
Who?
Bad Bunny wrestled way better than Lana did.
You can't compare women and men, dude. You can't.
No, yes, you can. You're
Yeah.
comparing someone who who has never touched a wrestling ring ever in their lives versus someone who's been doing this shit for years, and you're still trash.
But
And you
she
have
hasn't
someone
really
that
been in like she really hasn't been in the ring
it
for
doesn't
a
matter.
number of years. She
For
hasn't
the
really been
past
in the
for
ring.
the past maybe 2-3 years, she's had solid matches and she's been training for years. You know what I'm saying? She's been training for years.
Yeah, she's been
She
training.
trained
But
for like
training,
what, a month or two?
training really. I mean, training is one thing, but she's still like.
I'm not gonna give her that shit. A celebrity that don't wrestle was outshined you. Come on, bro.
I don't know.
I don't care.
I don't know
I don't
about
care
that.
about men or female. We at this point is equality out here, and she's gonna get these verbal hands. She could have trained. She's been training for years, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. She's been training for years, and you had a celebrity outshine majority of the matches that were there. That was a great fucking match, but we'll get to that in a second.
I don't know. Like I wouldn't put all that on Lana. Like
Nah, I mean you're
Also,
looking into it way too
it's a
deep.
tag team turmoil. Like just the title in that. I'm just like. It really didn't seem like Naomi was doing anything in that match. It seemed like it was more coming from Lana. Because I saw Naomi, like I didn't see Naomi do her thing, like really do her thing in the match. Like
Yeah.
like because Naomi can go and she can keep going. I didn't really see her do her thing. I kind of missed that
Because it was a rush match. They already knew what they wanted to do. This was just a match just to figure out who was going to be in there, just to give all the other tag teams or most of the other tag teams some type of a spotlight to shine, and they didn't do well.
This is my problem with the main roster when it comes to tag team. How is it that NXT is doing it way better than you are?
NXT does everything way better than the main roster, which is
I'm just
been
talking.
my point for a while now.
I'm specifically talking about the women's tag team. I'm specifically talking about that because you can't like the Riot Squad is a solid tag team. Doesn't get any shine.
But they were built as a tag team. That's what I'm saying.
But even so, but the fact about they don't get the shine that they need. Lana and Naomi. Naomi don't need to be in no tag team. She was in a tag team when she first started out. She's broke out as a singles wrestler. She don't need to be in no tag team.
But here's the thing: she makes people shine.
She does.
Who was that other person that she was with? I don't even remember her name. Why? Because she's
Cameron.
insignificant.
Naomi and Cameron.
She was insignificant. She couldn't even wrestle either. She was garbage.
Oh yeah.
And look who they put her. Look who they pair her up with now. Someone who can't wrestle. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
So
she's still. I mean,
I understand why they did it, but for the most part, they shouldn't do it. And for the most part, that's going to be a lock-in. That's a lock-in. They're wearing similar outfits and everything, so that's a lock-in.
Yeah, that's what worries me.
We'll have to see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what I don't know. Anyways, let's
my
move on.
my match of the night was the third match. To be honest, well, yeah, I want to say that the third match was my match of the night.
Cesaro versus
Seth Rollins.
That was a great I felt like I was watching the Indies again. I was loving that match.
Yo, that match felt like it was going on for a really long time, and it was so quick. I think it was like 10 minutes that match went on for. Yo,
it was actually 25 minutes, almost a half hour.
You sure about that?
Let me check. I think it was.
I have the times in front of me. It ran for 11 and a half minutes.
11 and a half minutes? You sure?
Yep.
It felt like 25.
Maybe with entrances. Ran for about.
That was a good match. That was a good Cesaro versus Seth Rollins was such a good match. Oh, and it really goes to show how little they utilize Cesaro.
I tell you now, they gonna definitely use him now. He's on Raw, right? No, he's on SmackDown. He's on SmackDown.
There's a SmackDown.
So rumor is right now that he's supposed to be going up against Roman Reigns. So if that is true, then we might possibly see a Cesaro title run for a bit, which would be great. Finally, after so many years. But again, we'll have to see because it is only a rumor, it's speculation. So
I'll say this. It's not like we haven't wanted it. It's not like there wasn't inklings of it a while back when he was Intercontinental Champion and United States Champion. Even when, he was on those, had those titles and he was having these great matches, right? They still would just not give it to him. And, I remember the Stone Cold interview with Vince McMahon. And, one of those things were like grabbing the brass ring and stuff like that. And Cesaro was mentioned, right? And Vince saying that, kind of like he wasn't ready or some shit like that. This and that. And it's such an arrogant fucking, such an arrogant thing. Like he was ready back then. But Seth Rollins, not saying Seth Rollins ain't great. Not saying that. Not saying Roman ain't great. Well, back then he wasn't. He wasn't really as good as he was. People booed him and everything like that. But at the same time, back then we were still giving Cena title shots. And we had so many NXT people that came up before Cesaro even to get a title shot, a main title shot. I think that's a little insult. Like even Kofi, like you can put, not saying you can put Cesaro and Kofi in the same fucking spot. Kofi, it took him 11 years? It took Cesaro 10.
I don't think it's a timing thing. It's more the fact that
it is. I'm sorry, but
no, it's not because there's still a lot of people that haven't gotten that shot.
Yeah, but Seth, we talking about Seth, Dean. I'm talking about Seth, Dean, Roman, Daniel Bryan has had the.
Here's the thing. You have good wrestlers. You have great wrestlers. You have phenomenal wrestlers, and then you have superstars. Who are you gonna choose over that? You're gonna choose a superstar. You're gonna choose
Seth and Dean are great wrestlers,
but they're also superstars.
Seth became a superstar after
Seth was a superstar on NXT, bro. And when they moved him up
No, he wasn't.
Shield,
He was not a
he was
superstar.
the leader of Shield. He was
he-
number one. He was the
He was not a
talking piece.
superstar. He was not a superstar.
Bro,
on
he's been
NXT.
superstar since day one.
No, he wasn't.
John Cena, superstar since day one.
John Cena was
The
not
Rock,
a superstar day
superstar
one.
since
Don't
day
even do
one.
that. John Cena was not a superstar day
Bro,
one.
they saw the potential that they had in him. As soon as they brought him up, that was a wrap
Not
for him.
when you have giants. When you have giants that you had Kurt Angle, Undertaker. You still have the main people there. He was not a superstar yet. It wasn't until he had really good matches with Big Show that pushed it, and Kurt Angle. Not even
that's
rookie
what I'm saying. They knew what they had in him. Triple H was the same thing. Triple H was the same thing. All wrestlers have their own come up.
It wasn't until he became.
All wrestlers have their own come up, and you have great wrestlers versus superstars. Do you want the star? Do you want the stars with the title, or do you want a great wrestler with the title? They want the superstar. They want.
Daniel Bryan's a great wrestler. I want a great wrestler.
All right, and look what they did with him. And he was a superstar because the fact that he started growing with the company.
A superstar once he had the title.
They all become superstars. You go from
eventually,
great wrestler to superstar.
They have to be good wrestlers. It's just a well-known fact. They have to be good wrestlers.
But Cesaro was not a good wrestler. Cesaro's not star quality. Sheamus is, but not Cesaro. Cesaro's not superstar quality. He's a great wrestler.
The title a while back, Sheamus been a superstar for a minute though.
Yeah,
when he first came out, he was not a superstar.
That's everybody. You can't take a tone. I'm not talking about when they first came out though.
But said Cena was a superstar.
That's not the case.
He wasn't a superstar.
They saw him as a superstar.
No, he wasn't.
That's the same thing with Seth Rollins. They saw him as a superstar, and he
was a rookie that didn't know a jack shit.
Yeah,
I'm not
gonna get into it because at the end of the day, right now, like you're talking like the way they set things up. You have to see if this person is gonna have a particular type of star quality.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what they do with everybody. Cesaro, they only saw him as a mid-card champion. They never saw him as number one. He's a great wrestler. They didn't see him as a superstar. Superstars don't normally carry mid-card titles until they start growing. You get what I'm saying? Seth Rollins was the first NXT champion.
Yeah.
They had that planted already that he was going to be number one. The first NXT champion.
Yeah, he was.
You know what I'm saying? And he wasn't that great in the beginning. He just had very high charisma, and he was a good wrestler. So they had to build him up to that superstar status. Then they put him in Shield. Then as soon as he was on the main roster, he was the talking piece. He was the superstar of that group until they split him up and gave him the title. Right or wrong? Superstar quality.
If you want to be technical,
that's how it's always going to be at the end of the day.
They all were. Because they all three of them had a title. When they broke up, they all had titles.
Yeah, but they all had superstar quality. That's what I'm trying to say.
If it wasn't for the Shield, yeah.
It doesn't matter if they were with the Shield or not.
It does. Because if it wasn't for them being with the Shield, they would never been where they got.
Roman, maybe. But
because of who his family is.
No, I'm talking about Roman, no. Because he was just a powerhouse. He wasn't anything else other than that. He couldn't even talk on the microphone. It took him years for him to grab a microphone.
It don't matter when you're related to a legacy. Randy Orton. Let's even talk about that. Bray Wyatt. Those are legacy fucking people.
Here's my thing. We're wasting time on this when we're not even talking about that. Now, again, Cesaro does deserve to be there. We see that. But from a company standpoint, he's not a superstar. You have to build that superstar from him, and that's what they've been doing with him this past year.
Hold up.
Years ago, they have not done any. Yes, this past year is when he's been in everyone's mouth. Everyone loves Cesaro.
No. Don't even do that. No. I cannot accept that. That is not acceptable. That is not acceptable. I'm sorry.
To me and you, we knew he had what it takes to be a champion, and they have not given him that spotlight.
That is unacceptable in all fronts. And to me and you. But at the same time, I can't accept that because when he was doing his 007 thing and they had the Cesaro section and all that, They still didn't give him any fucking flack. What they do? They teamed him up with Sheamus.
That's all that, and that's what they decided to do.
It's still
from a company standpoint. They did not see him as a number one superstar. They saw him growing, and that's exactly what they do with every single person.
Grown. They just didn't want to do it. Same thing they did.
Of course, and again, that's from a company standpoint. You yourself love him as a wrestler and as a superstar. I saw the potential that he can. When he came out and he was a dickhead, when he was the Swiss fucking whatever, and he was the Swiss cyborg.
Yeah,
he came out like that, and everyone was like, "Who the fuck is this guy? He's fucking hairy as shit. He needs to fucking shave. All he does is these fucking uppercuts." That's all they fucking spoke about.
When he first came out,
in the beginning, they fully built him up. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't have the star quality until now. Now is when people really like Cesaro. Now people are jumping on the Cesaro bandwagon, and that's why the company is doing what they're doing. And
they've always liked him. The crowd has always liked Cesaro.
Yes, the crowd, the universe. But I'm talking about the company.
And I'm talking about the company. The fact about it is you're getting the two mixed up. The company does not listen to the fans. It's just saying plain and simple.
And that's the point. But we're not talking about that. That's not what I'm trying to get at. He didn't have the superstar quality.
Yes, he has. He has. And they just
in your eyes, he has. In my eyes, he has. Always. Since he started, he's had it.
They have ignored it. I'm trying to tell you, they ignored it.
And the reason why they ignored it is because the company did not like that shit. That's what I'm trying to get at. But you're not getting it through your head.
I'm getting it, but
you're not, because you're combating with me. I'm agreeing with you, and you're still combating me, nigga.
Because the company's fucking retarded. Because there's so many other.
But I'm agreeing with you. Why are you fighting me when I'm fucking agreeing with you? It's stupid. Stop.
Nah, the company is trash.
Yes, I understand that. But you are fucking arguing with me when I said I agree with you. Shut the fuck up.
You're trying to make a point with the company. I get with the company.
And that's the point that I'm trying to get at. It's the company, not the fans.
But you can't speak.
It's always been that way. Honestly, he doesn't have the superstar quality. Now is when he does. And now is when they're pushing him. They always gave him a little bit of push, and people started growing towards him more and more and more.
But that I can't sit that. Nah, I can't.
It don't sit right well with you, and it don't sit right well with me. I agree with you 1,000%. But you're fighting me over something that I'm telling you, which is true.
But it's not.
It's the same thing with John Cena. When he first came out, he was a nobody. He was fucking nobody. He didn't even have the ring, the in-ring gear and shit. And then when he fucking started coming out as a rapper, people were like, "What the fuck is this?" But the company knew he was going to be a superstar. And what the fuck did he become when he became a fucking face? The fucking face of the company.
Yeah.
And it only took him at least about a year or two. Seth Rollins, it took him a year or two to become the face of the company.
You get not even a year or two.
Superstar quality.
It wasn't even a year or two. It was literally after Shield broke up, where he became the face.
He started that.
Although,
and he was already a superstar in NXT. When NXT was bullshit. When nobody watched NXT, he was a fucking superstar in NXT.
Yeah,
he was the first ever champion. They decided to give him the first ever championship. It's the same thing they did with Finn Balor. Finn Balor was the first ever Universal Championship. Now, granted, they didn't give him anything back, but why? He got injured.
Well,
at that point, once people get injured, they really don't want to mess with that person because they feel that person is going to continue to get injured over and over and over and over again. Vince didn't even have that much faith in fucking Finn Balor at all that, and at that point, he didn't even like the Demon. That's why we don't have the Demon.
Don't get me started. The last match with the Demon was he went against Bobby Lashley for the IC champion.
Yeah, WrestleMania 35.
Yeah, was that over here, MetLife?
That was the last time that we saw the Demon completely. So I get that.
Because he didn't even bring it out for Bray Wyatt. Jesus, yeah.
Now let's talk about the worst fucking match of the night.
I don't want to. I really don't want to.
I don't either, but we don't have to talk about it. The worst fucking match of the night, AJ Styles and Omos, that big tall dude, whatever the hell, didn't do nothing.
You said his name right, Omos. It's Omos.
Versus the New Day. The New Day took control of that whole match, and it was amazing. I loved it. It was hilarious. They kept poking fun at him. They were poking the bear the whole match. As soon as he came out, he just he did a couple swings, he did a couple mushes in the side of the ring, choke slam freaking Kofi, and it was over.
It was like watching the Great Khali all over again.
I hated it, and I don't know what they're gonna do, but I hope that something happens. And I'm pretty sure. By the way, if anybody doesn't know, we're recording on Monday night. So Monday night, I feel like we're gonna see those titles on the line against an unknown tag team, guaranteed.
Unknown?
It's gonna be someone. They're either gonna bring up someone from NXT, or it's going to be just a random ass shit where you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, no way!" Yeah, tag titles on the line tonight, definitely.
I don't know. We'll see. He's too new and green around the gills to be losing a tag team title right away.
Oh no, they're losing them shits quick. If they don't lose them tonight, they're gonna lose them at Backlash.
Yeah, that's when they'll lose.
If they don't lose them tonight, they're losing them at Backlash, which is in like
I don't think he's going to be
weeks?
losing the title. I think because it's his first title, regardless of
it was his first match.
True.
And he did nothing but just walk around the ring. He did nothing. I was so disappointed in that.
Great Khali.
I was so disappointed in that shit.
Yo,
he looked like but Khali has moves. Khali did shit. Yeah, like I get it. I get the whole spectacle because he's 7 foot tall. Oh my god, he's big.
Why is he not in the NBA?
He can palm someone's face.
Well, I'm wondering why he's not in the NBA.
It was so stupid. That was a dumbass match. And the fact that they gave AJ Styles the tag titles, and the only reason why they probably did that was just to make him a Grand Slam champion. That was probably the only fucking reason why they did that shit.
He didn't even need it though.
He don't, but that's probably the only reason why they did it, to make him a Grand Slam champion.
I honestly wouldn't mind if seeing AJ was included in the I forgot which match was on Raw. Oh, United States. I wouldn't have mind to see a triple threat for United States with AJ in there.
That match shouldn't even have happened to begin with. That was the dumbest setup.
No, I'm just saying, like,
Riddle hit Sheamus with his scooter, and it started a feud. You're fishing for a storyline that wasn't there. He hit him with the scooter.
I don't know.
And he got upset.
I was just saying, like, I just would like to see AJ. Like, I know AJ has had every single title now.
But this one, you see what I'm saying? That's when you circle back to Cesaro. Look at how great AJ Styles is. Look at how much of superstar quality AJ Styles has. And look at where they have him. Why do they have him with a bodyguard? He don't need one.
I don't fucking know.
Why do they have him with the tag team titles? He don't need that.
He don't need it.
Unless he was with Bullet Club, if they did that and they did the OC because they couldn't do Bullet Club, they still failed on that shit.
They so many missed opportunities.
And then got rid of freaking two of the best people that you could possibly have on your roster.
Yeah.
Terrible. It all comes down to company choices.
And Finn went back to NXT. You could have had a whole thing. You could have had a whole new faction for a number of years. Even during COVID, you could have had a whole faction.
Yeah, and they chose to bite the bullet on that because they're retarded.
Yeah. You know what? The thing is, like, we haven't seen Omos do anything, and he's been training too. Thing they would
that's what I'm saying. Training what? When we didn't even see none of that stuff. He literally just lifted people up and slammed. He put things up. He picked things up and put them down. That's all he did.
I mean,
that's all he did.
When you that big, do you really have to do? And I mean, well, then again, Big Show has been.
Look at what was it? Dabakato.
Well, he ain't that tall. Well, he ain't 7 foot.
He's a powerhouse though. Look how big he is. He's like 6 something.
Yeah.
They could put him against Omos.
But
and it's still not going to be a good match, but you're going to see some crazy shit from Dabakato.
Yeah, but that's
guaranteed.
He's on SmackDown, so.
Yeah, but even so, that's the point I'm getting at. You know what I'm saying? Dabba-Kato was on Raw. He was, and now he's on SmackDown.
Oh yeah.
They don't know what to do with him. He went from NXT to Raw to to back to NXT to back to Raw for that underground bullshit.
He never wrestled in NXT. I haven't seen him wrestle once in the entire year.
He wrestled for a bit in NXT,
When?
and then he disappeared for a bit. And then when they brought him out in that Raw Underground, he was undefeated until Braun Strowman got a piece of him, and then he was missing again for a bit. And now look at him on SmackDown.
Braun's on SmackDown, right?
Braun is on
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
So they're gonna do that. That's gonna happen again, guaranteed.
We'll see what happens with that.
It's gonna happen again.
Yeah.
Now,
Speaking of Braun,
well, that's night 2.
no, that's night 1.
Is it? No,
that was night 1.
Was it?
Yep. Braun versus Shane in that steel cage match.
Let's talk about Braun. What'd you think?
Solid match. I mean, I'm tired of seeing Shane McMahon fighting the Giants. It's stupid to me. Why go after legends? Why go after giants when you know you're gonna get your ass whooped? Why take that thunder from people? Besides Undertaker, like why take that thunder away from people? You know what I'm saying? What was it? I think WrestleMania 35, he fought Miz. Obviously not a giant. But that was Miz gave his all to that match, and that was such a disrespectful storyline for Miz. And they didn't give Miz that win. Why?
And the year before that was KO, and it was KO, right?
Was it KO? Probably was KO.
It was KO, and then because I don't know if it was WrestleMania that Daniel Bryan and Shane versus KO and Sami. Was that WrestleMania or was that?
No, Shane normally does the one-offs.
No, because it was him and Daniel Bryan versus KO and Sami.
I don't know.
I think that was WrestleMania.
That's besides the point.
But I don't know.
Shane has no business wrestling anybody
at this point. Hell, Vince McMahon was still wrestling at the age.
In the beginning, when he was an integral part of the show, yeah, he hasn't been an integral part of the show,
right,
for a while.
Mm-hmm.
He comes out, he flares things up a little bit, and then he leaves. And now, and once it gets towards Mania season, he wants to start picking on somebody. For what? Why are you gonna diminish someone's career for some shit like that?
I guess
that I'm telling you, that I rewatched 35 Saturday. That match he had with Miz was great. Miz pulled out all the stops in honor of his father that was being disrespected by Shane McMahon.
Oh, I forgot about that shit. Yeah.
The match ended with Miz doing a freaking superplex off of this platform and them going through like a bunch of wood and all this other crazy shit.
Damn, I remember that.
And then Shane ended up on top of him and the match was over. Why? Miz should have came out on top of that, but they didn't think to think that through.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Shane has no business doing any of the shit that he's been doing over the past few years. Fighting Undertaker, fighting Kevin Owens, fighting Miz, fighting Braun Strowman. It's funny. I get it. I understand the excitement of picking on somebody. You know what I'm saying? The whole David and Goliath, but you're not David. You're the one that's being the prick out of the whole thing, pissing someone off.
So who would
he got what he deserved?
Who you would have had Braun fight?
Braun? I to be honest with you, I really don't know.
There you go.
I really don't know.
It's one of those things where it's like playing baseball or old school baseball. You know, you got a bunch of your friends there, and it's like, yo, I pick you, I pick you, I pick you, I pick you, I pick you. In this case, Braun was chosen last. And Shane was like, all right, well, I'll take you. It's one of those things. And you could tell, like
they literally, so because of the pandemic and everything that's been going on, literally this year, which was ridiculous for some reason, this year WrestleMania, they scrambled the very last month to make matches. A lot of matches were set within the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
A lot of the matches were set within the last 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Some matches we knew off rip from what Royal Rumble. We knew matches were gonna happen. So that was like what 2-3 months ago.
No, we knew matches were gonna happen after Fastlane.
That was 4 weeks ago. But a lot of the other matches were already set.
Yeah, there were some.
You're saying we had like about maybe 4 matches from Royal Rumble. We had about 4 matches that we knew were going to be set for WrestleMania.
Well, the only one that was really set for WrestleMania was, even that changed though.
That's what I'm saying. It changed, and the reason why they changed it was
like,
because
that's what I mean. Like Fastlane,
they did a lot of things on the fly this year.
Fastlane was the major event because we had like Edge was going to be fighting somebody. It didn't matter who he. Well, it didn't matter. Really
but that's what I'm trying to get at. I'm not trying to get into the semantics of it. I'm trying to say we knew what matches or who was going to be in specific matches at WrestleMania, and it was only about 2 or 3 matches. The last 3 weeks, we got like a total of like 7 or 8 matches that were built within the last 2 to 3 weeks. That's not enough time.
Yeah. Well, we also didn't realize
storyline.
We also didn't expect. First of all, we didn't expect Drew to lose the title and then Bobby to have it. We didn't expect that. That was completely unexpected. And that took in place right during Fastlane. That's why a lot of things, you're right? A lot of things were scrambled. There was only one match. Even Edge versus Roman Reigns was completely just.
We knew that shit was happening. I knew that shit was happening.
Was happening, but you add Daniel Bryan to it. Now it's more than.
And was that stupid on their part? Yes, 1,000% stupid on their part. Daniel Bryan had no business being in that match.
I liked it.
It was a good match. I'm not gonna front. It wasn't a bad match, but Daniel Bryan had no business in that match. And the fact that they put him in there was straight up disrespect to fucking Edge. Disrespect. And then the fact that they didn't even put the title on him, disrespect. But that's night 2. We're already an hour into here, and I didn't want to do this long.
Yeah, well, it's 2 nights. So, let's talk about what was the next?
Miz and Morrison versus Bad Bunny and Damien Priest. I'm upset they didn't really use Damien Priest in this match until the very end.
Was that night 1?
Night 1, yes.
Oh yeah, because all the championships were night 2.
Bad Bunny, hands down, had to have been the best celebrity match I've ever seen in the history of me watching wrestling. Now they have a celebrity wing for the Hall of Fame. Yeah. Bad Bunny's going to be in that fucking shit for sure.
He did, I was reading about how he canceled his tour because he really wanted to get into wrestling and really learn how to do it.
There was no tours this year, so they had no other choice. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It wasn't the fact that he canceled his tour. Everybody had to cancel their tours. The world canceled their tours. WWE canceled their tours. Everybody canceled their tours. No one had a tour. Everyone's starting tours next year. So the fact that, he is, doing what he's been doing this past year and winning Grammys and doing SNL, whatever, we're not here to talk about, his life, but we're here to talk about how great he fucking did during this match.
Yeah, he did a great job.
The most you'll see from somebody is jump off the top rope, slap someone, throw a punch, do like a crossbody, and then the powerhouse or whoever was helping them would be the one that would help them win the match.
Right.
That's how all those matches play out. Bad Bunny actually did something throughout this match, and it was entertaining to watch.
It's weird. You say celebrity. I don't know.
He did a Canadian destroyer, bro.
Yeah, I was thinking of like celebrity. I was like, is LT a celebrity? No, he's a football player.
Yeah, but look at Gronk.
That's a
All
full
he did was a shoulder tackle. Oh my God, WrestleMania moment. Oh,
Yeah.
no, I don't give a shit about that.
Yeah.
Bad Bunny actually did a freaking Falcon Arrow. He did a Hurricane Rana. He did freaking drop toe hold leg holds. He freaking did he did everything. He did roll up pins, all that.
Yeah, it was pretty.
It
He was
was
pretty good.
impressive, bro.
He was pretty good. He did his thing. He held his own.
It was impressive. And
Damien did a good job.
I'm upset they didn't use him. I hyped him up when I was talking to people here that had never seen Damien Priest wrestle, and I was like, bro, he is a beast. Wait till he gets in the ring. And he got in the ring and did nothing. And I was like, I get why they kind of did that, but at the same time, it's like, bro, you should have let him like do work.
Yeah,
like he normally does.
I know what it was. It really
he didn't even
wasn't
get to do his finisher.
Yeah, it really wasn't about him. It was more about Bad
It was more about Bad Bunny, which was great.
So it's okay for him to take a back seat because now that Bad Bunny won't be there, Damien Priest can shine more because now it's like Bad Bunny was with, Damien Priest. So I get
For
it.
sure.
I get where it's going. So now this is gonna launch Damien Priest even further.
For sure.
In the next couple of weeks, I would say Backlash is going to have a match. He definitely have to have a match in Backlash.
We'll see what happens with his future.
But the last match, Bad Bunny match was great. The last match.
Yo, I'm not gonna lie, and I'm pretty sure you did too. I got teary-eyed in the beginning of the match.
Yes.
The beginning of that match, I got teary-eyed. Not just because of what happened and how they were reacting in front of everybody, but the fact that to know how serious this match was, how important this match was for the culture and everything that's been going on. Bro, I could not believe it. And I got a little teary-eyed watching it, and I couldn't believe
I had to curse somebody out. I had to curse somebody out because, and this was the next day, by the way, I cursed somebody out on Twitter because he commented on the picture of them standing still and them being emotional. And to me, I was just like, oh, it was a GIF.
Yeah.
And I fucking I couldn't, like, even looking at the GIF gets me emotional.
Mm-hmm.
Because, and then the dude commented like, oh, this wasn't a good match, this and that. I was like, dude, like, this was a historic match. What the fuck are you talking about? Why are you even like saying anything? And I hold up before you say anything. I went off, and he's like, oh, why are they historic? I was like, he's like, do you understand? Like, do you watch wrestling, dude? This is the first time you have two women of color main eventing WrestleMania ever for a title.
And the second ever match where women were the main event. And the other one was because it was fucking Ronda Rousey part of that main event. That was the only reason why that shit was the main event.
Yeah. I mean, granted, Ronda and Becky deserved it. It was Becky, Ronda, and Charlotte.
Yeah, they deserve it. I'm not counting them out, but the main reason why that was the fucking main event that year was because of Ronda Rousey.
And Becky, her that year was just all.
That was, I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm not counting her out, but the main reason why was because Ronda was a spectacle. She was the champion. She was everything. You know what I'm saying? That was the main reason why they did that. But
the like when they were just, when they were just there and Sasha handed the belt and they rang the bell and the crowd, I'm getting emotional now thinking about it, the crowd was just like cheering
just to hear
and just Sasha looking to the left and looking to the right, seeing the crowd again. And them chanting both their names.
Yo, she had that resting bitch face on until everyone was just screaming and chanting names and shit like that. Mm-hmm. And then she looks over and then you see her start to like cry a little bit. I was like, yo.
And then Bianca Belair. Oh my God, this is her first WrestleMania, and she's headlining it.
Was it her first WrestleMania? Didn't she do last year's WrestleMania?
Not as a headline.
Well, not as a headline, but didn't she fight in last year's WrestleMania?
Don't think so.
Yeah, she
Who'd she
did.
fight?
Shit, I know she did.
You sure it wasn't Takeover? Because she didn't come up yet.
No, yeah, she was already there. She was already there. She had even celebrated when Montez Ford won the tag team titles at WrestleMania last year.
Well, she came out, but I don't think she was wrestling. I don't know, but we'll research it. Comment below if you know what we're talking about. But to see Bianca Belair's emotions like really get to her, she was trying to hold it down, but she was just like I was just like, girl, I'm with you, hold it. And then she was just like, because they both just sat there and nodded. You just take it all in. And Michael Cole said the damn thing. This is a historic moment. For the first time ever, two black women are main eventing for the WWE Women's title.
Yeah, he did say that. Two black women.
That hit me so hard. And it hit me so hard because it makes me think about like so many other black female wrestlers that are still there and the ones who have paved the way. And to finally have this moment, I was just dumbfounded because I was just like, I can't believe it took this long for this to happen. But at the same time, it's like, I'm glad it did happen.
They had
JBL said some dumb shit though that pissed me off though.
They had a lot of great moments in that match.
Oh yeah, the reversals, like reverse after reverse after reverse.
They were like just.
It was so good.
Yeah, it was great. Like everything was so good about the match. And what really killed me was the hair whip at the end. Did you see that mark that was on Sasha?
It was long.
That shit wrapped around her side, bro.
Word. And I'm surprised she didn't give another one. It was just one slap.
It was just one, and you heard that shit too. I was like, geez.
That shit echoed. It was like, Pat, everybody was like, oh. So, I mean, there was one spot where Sasha was going for the Meteora, and she missed, and she went for a splash, and she nailed it. And then when Bianca Belair went for the 450, and I thought that was it. By the way, I thought that was it. The 450 hit.
Yep.
Boom. And because it was like the shortest count. It was like 1, 2, and then Sasuke. I was like, oh, like they really. Yo, and what's up with Bianca carrying people from outside the ring all the way into the ring? She carried her up the steps, picked her up, and threw her in the ring. Fucking crazy.
Yo, she's power. She's the strongest, bro.
Yes. EST at WWE.
She's the strongest. She's the toughest. She's the roughest.
I'm definitely, it's gonna be good. I think definitely gonna see what because Charlotte's on what? Raw or SmackDown?
Raw.
Okay. Because never mind though. So I didn't like what JBL said. I'm just gonna get this out there.
What did he say?
Okay, so during the pre-show, JBL said some dumb shit because when they were talking about Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks, and they're talking about the title, and they were talking about how historic this is, this and that. JBL came out the side of his mouth and said, "It's not about Black history. It's not about this. It's not about he said it's not about Black history. It's not about women." He said it's about the best athlete, this and that. Like, are you fucking stupid?
I think you probably took that out of context.
Nah, he said what he said.
I gotta hear that again, but I think that was taken out of context.
Nah, he said what he said. You know why? Also, too, Booker agreed with him. That kind of fucked me up, and it's because Booker and JBL are not, Booker. I love Booker T, But I think there's a thing where I don't think he doesn't like women wrestling, or there's something wrong with it where he sees it. JBL's another one. So, and what made it bad when JBL said that, there was this awkward silentness when he said it, because Kayla was right there, and she moved on from it because you could see that it affected her. And it affected Pete Rosenberg too, because you see, like, he wanted to say something, he didn't say nothing because he was just like, you could see in their face that they literally, both of them was just kind of like the awkwardness out of it after what he said. So taken out of context, nah, he said what he said, and you know, I don't think JBL, or I mean, they're legends and I respect them, but at the same time, it's like, y'all came at the side of y'all mouth with that. Like, I don't like that. And Jerry the King Lawler, for all people, said, agreed with it too. Like, y'all, I was like, that was uncalled for. I think what they said was just very uncalled for, and yeah, like,
it is what it is. At the end of the day, we know we got an amazing match.
mm-hmm.
And if they felt some type of way, they fucking definitely stuck their foot in their mouth. But the match was amazing. What they did for women's wrestling, what they did for the company, what they did for, the culture and everything that's been going on over these past couple of years.
Right.
Hands down, had to have been like one of the best things. Like, I mean, I enjoyed that main event between Charlotte, Becky, and Ronda Rousey. Yo.
It was good technical wrestling too, because it was like, weren't there like triple submissions on each other or something during one of the?
I enjoyed that match, and it was great, and I know that was something as well. You know what I'm saying, for that to be the main event of the show, but this match was so different on so many levels that it made an impact, and I hope that they continue to do something with the main roster when it comes to things like this. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We constantly see, incredible matches from all these women, and they don't get enough credit. I feel that they still don't get enough credit,
No, they don't.
Because I even know a few people that are like, they got the women as main event, and I'm like, yeah, yo, like,
why?
I'm telling you.
I agree with you completely. And after what JBL said, and Booker T agreeing with it, and Jerry King Lawler agreeing with it, you're absolutely right. Because that showed, ignorance.
That's just how life is. You know what I'm saying?
Because they're so used to fucking divas and whatnot. And we know what irks my nerve enough to, like, you trained Ember Moon, Booker T. You should know firsthand how important that would be. Like, he didn't even, like, it felt like he didn't even, like,
I feel like he just said yeah just to say yeah, if that's the case. But we don't know. Again, I don't recall this happening, and I gotta watch it over
the pre-show?
To see. I had the pre-show on. I wasn't really paying attention to it because there were no matches. I thought there were gonna be some type of match with it, and they didn't have any match.
They didn't. Booker T, I'm upset because it's like, Booker T, you should know more. Like, you, out of anybody that's there, should know how more important this is for women of color. But the fact that you agreed with JBL on what he said, that irks my nerve.
Yeah.
Even though you trained a black female wrestler, Amber Moon, who wound up being an NXT champion herself and paving a way for herself, even come to the main roster, but over injuries. But you don't understand, like that fall flat on you. I don't understand where Booker T did not just even say anything. And I understand, like, maybe he didn't want to say anything on camera to, like, check somebody. Fine, cool, I get it. It's live TV. You don't want to check nobody on camera. Cool, but pivot a little bit. Like, it didn't feel like he pivoted a little bit. And it just, and you could tell the awkwardness when after JBL said it. It was completely awkward. Pete Rosenberg didn't say a fucking thing after that.
Yeah, I
Kayla was completely silent.
I
And
get that.
you know why she was silent? Because she felt trapped.
You and Violet, bro. I'm recording.
She felt trapped. She felt because she was surrounded by a whole bunch of men, and as another woman of color, she was just like, all right, well, let's talk. Let's move on, because it was like she had no room to say anything. Like it was.
Yeah,
anyway.
I completely get that. You're putting too much energy into something that was negative, and again, the match was phenomenal. I could have watched them wrestle all night, but obviously it had to end, and we got a winner, and it was great. I definitely enjoyed the outcome, and I can't wait to see more. I can't wait to see what's next for Bianca Belair and her future in the company.
All right, so let's move. Let's try to move fast let's try to move fast with the Wrestlemania Night 2.
Give me a second.
All right. Night 2. I'm going to say
Night 2 was fucking disappointing. I'm going to put it out there. I really don't want to talk about Night 2, and
we have to
talk about it a little bit because I really don't want to get into it. We've been doing this for about an hour now, bro. Let's start off with the first match of the night. Randy Orton versus The Fiend.
I don't even...
What the whole fuck was all that build up for what? And then we didn't even get an explanation on why the fuck that. And we'll probably get an explanation tonight.
I completely agree.
Why that was 5 fucking minutes of bullshit for us to get an RKO, and then he didn't even kick out the RKO, bro.
One RKO.
One RKO.
Not even like.
And he overpowered the whole match, and just because Alexa Bliss confused him,
like. He didn't get hit with no steel
chairs. He didn't
get hit with no steel chairs. He didn't get rammed into the steel steps. He didn't go through a table. He didn't get hit with a hammer. Seth Rollins did more damage to him, and he still won that shit.
I don't understand why that's the thing that's been built up for months.
And he didn't have the burnt face anymore.
He transformed. I thought that was kind of cool because you got to understand he's a demonic entity. So
I'm fine with that. No. I was fine with that.
That was cool. I enjoyed that. I enjoyed the fact that I enjoyed that he came out of a fucking Jack in the Box.
Right.
The setup for the match was great. He was overpowering. He was the Fiend that we saw in the very beginning. I loved it. I was waiting for that. But for the match to only run 5 minutes, and he just got blindsided by Alexa Bliss from sitting on top of the freaking Jack in the Box,
apparently,
and then he lost to an RKO.
One RKO? Like, I would have expected Alexa Bliss to interfere and get RKO. I would have accepted that.
Yo, that was just as shocking as the Undertaker losing to freaking Brock Lesnar, and that was a fucking hell of a match versus what we got with this shit. Literally, I saw that RKO and I'm like, he's gonna kick out. 1, 2, 3. What? He didn't kick out of that shit.
I thought when he pinned him, he was gonna like put the claw on him. You know what I mean? Like when he pinned him, like I don't who.
We always.
Who's the producer of that? Who wrote that?
We always got to come down to the writers. That was terrible writing for that entire situation. And I love that build-up so much. I was waiting for this match. And the fact that he came out in white gear, I was like, okay, I get why he's coming out in white gear. Cool.
But then
why?
Why did he came out in white gear? Like
you destroyed that whole segment for what? And I'm pretty sure it's gonna blossom into something crazy.
I don't care anymore. No. I don't care anymore.
No, because I love the fact of what they've been doing with the Fiend, and I love the fact of what they've been doing with Alexa Bliss.
I like what they're doing with the Fiend. But at this point in time,
it's not the feud anymore. Here's the thing. It's not the feud anymore. I don't care about the feud. The feud is over. Randy Orton got his redemption. He won the match. It's over. But now we have to figure out what the fuck Alexa Bliss is up to. So that's probably the only thing that I'm excited about it. But again, I was confused at the outcome of the match because of the way it ended. That was so fucking stupid for them to do.
Dumb.
And
Dumb. Dumb. Dumb.
uh,
Dumb. I never been upset. The last time I was this upset was Undertaker losing.
I wasn't upset. I was just shocked. This shit made me upset. Like, I was like, why would you do that? The Undertaker match was like, holy shit, that really just happened.
You know what? I'll take it back.
It was coming. It was gonna happen sooner or later.
I take it back. This is way like the way I'm upset about this match was the same way I felt when Goldberg versus the Fiend. Yeah.
Let's not talk about that. We're not gonna go there.
Yeah. Struck a nerve, huh? Struck a nerve, didn't I?
We're not gonna go there. Anything involving a Goldberg, just we're not talking about it. I'm glad Goldberg wasn't part of WrestleMania this year, okay. And I hope he's never a part of WrestleMania anymore. The only time I'm hoping that fucking Goldberg is a part of WrestleMania is when he's fucking getting the Hall of Fame. He's
already in the Hall of Fame.
Is he already in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Fuck him then, bro. He deserves no more.
He's already in the Hall of Fame.
Sit the fuck down.
Oh, he's been in the Hall of Fame for what? 3 years now.
The fact that he's already in the Hall of Fame and he did all that bullshit pissed me off now even more. Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler versus freaking Natalya and Tamina. Solid match, shit show for the most part. I didn't really like that match either.
I'm gonna say this about Natalya.
That match went on for way too fucking long.
I'm gonna say
I would have expected this match to be 5 minutes or so. For it to fucking go out in a freaking submission, nah, bro. I'm
gonna say this about Natty. I don't know what it is about Natty, but I think her wrestling's very slow.
She's old, bro.
Yeah.
She's old. I mean, granted, she's still a good wrestler.
Yeah,
but
it's very slow. And
it goes back to night one. Why did you have Tamina and Natalya win that match when it should have been the Riot Squad? I would have enjoyed Riot Squad versus Nia Jackson, Shayna Baszler.
I would have too.
That would have been a great fucking match. Even if it would have ended the way it ended, I would have been okay with that. I'm like, all right, this is a solid match. I'm good. This was a great match. But for the most part, this was solid. It wasn't 100% okay. I if anything, if I was to score it out of a 5, I'd probably give it a 2.5 out of a 5.
Oh, you said 2?
2.5 out of a 5.
I was gonna give it at least like a 3.
A 1?
A 3.
A 3? No, 2.5. Because again, the finish wasn't spectacular.
Natty tapping out. I'm just like, anyway.
She didn't tap out. She freaking just went to sleep.
Oh, yeah.
She went to sleep. And then the fact that they don't even do the suspenseful freaking thing anymore, where they lift up the arm once or twice.
Yes, they
don't
did
do that anymore.
Oh, yeah, they don't do that.
No,
No,
they literally just went like this, and they was like, oh, she's out. She's out. Ring the bell.
Yeah, right. And,
2 seconds. Like,
yeah, they usually
give them a chance
they usually do that. And it's
no, they don't do it.
They
haven't done it in years. They do one lift up, and if the arm goes down, the match is over. They don't do the 3 lift up like they used to do.
Yeah.
They stopped that shit.
I just want to move on from that match because
next fucking match, another fucking useless ass fucking match. Kevin Owens versus Sami Zayn. That match was boring.
It wasn't useless.
That match was boring as hell.
No, it wasn't.
That match was boring.
No, we watched the wrong match then. That shit was not boring. No, we watched
the same fucking match, and that match was boring.
That shit was good.
With a capital boring, bro.
That match was good.
That match was not good at all. It was a 10-minute match, and it was boring. I didn't want to watch it. I wasn't paying attention. This dude hits the stunner. The match is over. We all know the stunner's OP. That match was fucking boring. Night 2 was so disappointing, bro. I'm telling you.
Kevin versus Sami was a good match. I'm not going to disrespect them like that. They've been doing it for a long time. It still was a good match.
It was a boring match.
It was.
I mean, that's
because the fact they've known the fact because they know how to.
They've had better matches. That's my thing. This match was nothing compared to. It was doo-doo compared to all the other matches they've had.
It was still good.
It wasn't.
It was better than some of the other matches.
It wasn't.
It was.
If you were to put Bad Bunny against this match, I'd take Bad Bunny's match over this match.
Nah.
Yep.
Nah.
100%. I take Bad Bunny's match over this match. This match was garbage, and the fact that Logan Paul wasn't mixed up into that shit, stupid. We all knew he was gonna get stunned. Why are they making Kevin Owens the next Stone Cold? That shit makes no sense to me. Kevin Owens is his own fucking man.
Well, he's not the Stone Cold. He just has the stunner. Steve gave it to him. He was like, "Yeah, good."
Bullshit. That match was bullshit.
It was good. It was a good match.
Every single match. The only matches that were good were the last two matches.
So Oscar, nah, that's your opinion. But Sami versus Kevin was actually a good match.
Yeah. Sheamus versus Riddle was next for the U.S. title.
That was good.
It was a decent match, and I was hoping that Riddle would win. I don't know why they decided to put the title back on Sheamus.
You know why.
That backflip though into the bro kick, that was pretty dope. I was like, yo, he kicked him in the face, bro. He literally
got him good.
He
got him good.
Caught him. And that was good. It was back and forth for a bit. I just didn't like the build-up. It was a good match, but here's my thing. The build-up. You hit my man's with a scooter. A fucking scooter. And you want to fight him for the title? Just because he got it? A scooter.
I mean, he didn't win.
Why is he walking around with a scooter? Because he barefoot?
Well,
and then he came out with the scooter in his entrance.
He ain't walking, he's rolling.
What's up with the birds too? What is that?
That's that hippie bullshit. Don't you know Woodstock hippie shit? And so, in other words, when it came to Woodstock, you know how Woodstock shows the guitar, right? If the symbol for Woodstock is the guitar with the white bird on top.
Is this an actual explanation, or are you pulling this out your ass? Because
this is an actual.
I really need to know why the fuck
that is an actual explanation for it. They see this motherfucker as a hippie because he's bro. This. They see this motherfucker as a hippie. I mean, it's clear that they see him as a fucking.
Listen, the fact that they had RVD give him rolling papers. That's what I'm saying. Segment, I was crying, bro. I could not believe that shit.
Why do you think they gave him the birds? Like,
why did they? And it is crazy because they frown upon it. They fired people for smoking weed. They fired people.
But RVD gave him rolling papers.
But RVD was able to promote his rolling papers. Those are his rolling papers.
Yes, it is his rolling papers.
He was able to promote his rolling papers in a sense and give them to Matt Riddle. And who else? Great Khali. He gave him to. It was Great Khali, right?
Yes, he was. Yeah.
Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Come on.
I may buy some.
But then you fire Evan Bourne because he really likes to fly high. Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah.
Make it make sense, bro.
He gave him papers. He didn't smoke it.
They gave him them walking papers. That's what they gave him.
He gave him papers, but he didn't smoke it. Well, at least not yet. So the whole thing with Matt Riddle is that they gave him this like.
It was a cool match though. It was like something to like, to wake everybody up because all those other fucking matches were boring.
Kevin Owens matches wasn't boring.
Shit was doo-doo, bro.
It wasn't. It kept everybody up, everybody excited because Kevin Owens.
I did not want to see that match. I'm tired. I figured we were gonna get a classic Sami and Kevin Owens match. We didn't get a classic. We got we got a mid-card SmackDown match that didn't fucking matter to nobody.
Well, you got a tag team. You got the tag team match that took long as hell just to get to the point. They beat up Natty for at least 6, like for a long time before
for about half the match, 5-10 minutes.
Yeah. Like, come on. Like, of course, Kevin and Owens and Sami had to shorten their time. They had the tag team match that was long as hell. Not saying that the tag team match shouldn't have been somewhat decent time, but
they should have mixed a lot of these matches in with night one. Night one was absolutely the best night. And if night one was WrestleMania by itself, I would have been content with WrestleMania. Night two pissed me off. And that's the only reason why we're filming on a Monday and we're not filming right after. Not only because I had company over, but for the simple fact that night two pissed me off that I had to go straight to bed. As soon as I'm telling you, as soon as everybody left my house, bro, I shut everything off and went the fuck to bed.
You went to bed mad?
I went to bed mad. I couldn't deal with night two. Night two was a shit show. Yeah. And they know better than that shit.
Rhea Ripley versus Asuka was a good match.
That was a great match. I loved it. And I wanted Rhea to win so fucking bad, and she won.
Yeah, a lot of the new guys won. A lot of new people won.
And this is what we need to see.
Even in NXT. Well,
this is what we need to see.
Except Johnny Gargano still has his title.
I'm tired of Johnny Gargano. The fact that they have him as a heel right now, he's a terrible heel. He's a great wrestler, terrible heel.
There's a meme somebody put up. It was like it was a meme of Kevin Owens walking down and said it was main roster call up, and then you see the Leo Rush, as it says NXT star. He's running away from Kevin Owens because it's like nobody wants to go up to the main roster because they know what the fuck's gonna happen. Like, it's so fucked up. But
next terrible match of the night.
It wasn't terrible.
The next terrible match of the night.
It wasn't terrible. Roman Reigns versus...
No. You skipped the whole match, bro.
What? What match?
Apollo Crews versus Big E. This is why it was a terrible match. You create a whole match called the Nigerian drum fight.
And nobody's there.
They had Nigerian drums out on the side. And they had a gong. And they had all this shit out.
Nobody was banging.
And the only thing that was used was kendo sticks.
Nobody was banging drums. I thought this is what I thought. This is what I originally thought. My brother asked me, "What's a Nigerian drum fight?" I said, "I guess
was trying to figure out what the hell that shit was." And then
you want to know you know what originally what it is? You know
what
it really is? If you really take the fight scene or the what is it? I forgot what they call it, but it's from Black Panther. The whole king fight, or Who Wants to Be a King, where
I'm telling you right now, don't make me end this stream right now.
That's what it's supposed to be. That's what it's supposed to be.
And what did I say the other day?
I don't know.
What did I say the other day? Do you remember what I said the other day?
No.
I said the only reason why they're pushing him to be Nigerian and all this other Nigerian royalty was because of fucking Black Panther. I said this.
Well,
and you were like, "Oh, I don't know about Black Panther." Panther.
But when they announced the fucking but he is Nigerian.
And I completely forgot about the match stipulation, but we didn't see no one out there banging drums.
We see nothing.
We didn't see a fucking African tribe come out and do some drumming shit, for his entrance.
I thought he was gonna come out to some drums.
Nothing. We got Wale performing this nigga's entrance, bro. What? He was gonna use the gong, and he didn't use the gong, and all we heard was the gong hit the floor, and that was the end of the gong. The only thing that we got was kendo sticks that whole match.
I thought Apollo Crews was gonna come out to drums.
Exactly. That would have been cool. I'd been like, all right, cool, word.
Like, I don't care if Wale performed for Big E. That's not my point. But if you were supposed to be this Nigerian fucking, dude, like this dude, like, you were supposed to come out to drums, not your theme music.
He came out to his theme music, and it was cool entrance, whatever.
And nobody used
Big E had a pretty dope entrance. But other than that, I mean, it was supposed to be a squash match. And it literally was a squash when fucking Dabba-Kato comes out and interferes in the match. Terrible ending.
Terrible ending. I thought
Terrible ending. And
the
then
whole,
what?
the
And then
whole
you're gonna
show, the
take
whole
Big E out
match,
on a choke slam? A choke slam?
the
You're
whole
gonna take
match,
Big E out on?
the whole match itself, from what Apollo Crew was doing and what Big E were doing was good. But when it came out to the ending, I was like, what the fuck is this? Like Dabba-Kato for some, and that's the thing too. How come Dabba-Kato, like we didn't introduce Dabba-Kato earlier into the,
He just came out of nowhere. He came out of nowhere for
that is a
what?
shitty fucking ending.
And I know, and I get the reason why they did that, because they pushed the African vibe on him for a while. Because he was,
No, he wasn't the African dude doing the underground. He was just.
But he was an African. He wasn't like an African dude. He had like the African colors and everything when he was on NXT.
Yeah, when he had his first match on was it Raw? But yeah, but it wasn't.
And he had the same gear for NXT. That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes no sense why they added him in there. And he came out in a general's outfit. A general's outfit he came out in. And then he chokeslammed Big E, and the match is over.
A Nigerian military person, it was.
He looked like an extra out of freaking Coming to
America. Yep, he sure did.
Come on, bro.
He sure did. He sure did look like an extra from Coming to America. Oh, he sure did.
Come on, bro. I don't know why they did that. But it is what it is. They did what they did, and now we have a new Intercontinental Champion, and I'm hoping that doesn't last very long.
Say it right. Intercontinental Champion.
Why did they put a Rhea Ripley versus Asuka? I know we spoke a little bit about it, bro. That shit was great. Again, women's wrestling. I love women's wrestling. I love Rhea Ripley, and she.
But do you love the Intercontinental Champion?
I don't want to hear that shit, bro. I don't want to hear that shit. Rhea Ripley is our new women's champion, and I am happy about that shit.
You do?
Please don't. I don't need to hear none of that shit, because just as a disaster of an ending of that match was, so was the freaking Universal Championship
No, it wasn't.
match.
No, it wasn't.
That was a shit ending, and you know it.
Okay, the ending
was a shit ending, and you know it.
But the match itself,
the match was great. I loved the match. The match was great. They beat the shit out of Jey Uso. They beat the shit out of Jay. He got carried out of the ringside.
No, it wasn't a stretcher.
No, he got carried out. From ringside.
Yeah.
The match continued. Everyone destroying everybody. When Edge put Roman in that crossface, and then Daniel Bryan got in it. And then they both have him in like this crazy ass crossface lapel lock.
And
with that metal pipe from the chair, and then they start headbutting each other. Great. And then we have Psychotic Edge with the concertos.
This is why I love Edge, because somebody would have kicked that shit out the ring. He used that shit. He was like, fuck it, I'm gonna use this shit.
He saw it and was like, okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, but Daniel Bryan was
that exchange
great.
was so great, because you saw him in the label lock, and then you see him in a crossface right after, and then he's in a label lock and crossface at the same time. Then they start headbutting each other.
Yep.
And then we get Psychotic Edge with the concerto.
Oh yeah, we got the double spear though.
For that. And then when Jey Uso just jumped his dumb ass inside the ring, I knew that the match was over from that. We all did. And it only took about maybe a minute right after, and we got a retaining champion.
Yep. We didn't get a double.
Am I upset at the outcome? No.
We did get a double spear, and I enjoyed that. Finally, we got that.
Oh, when they like
I was like, when they did it, I was like, boom! I was like, yes, finally,
bro. Listen,
That was awesome. That was awesome.
I'm the only thing that I'm happy about is that Daniel Bryan didn't win. I love Daniel Bryan. He's a phenomenal wrestler. He's always gonna have a place in my heart. I've met him before. He's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, if he would have won that match, I was gonna shut that shit off, and
Why?
we wasn't even
Why?
gonna we wouldn't even record this shit today.
Yeah, we would.
I
Why?
tell you that right now. I
Why?
would have been like, you on your own.
Good. Why?
What?
Why?
He didn't deserve to be in that picture.
Why not?
He had no place there. They added him for no reason because of that whole, oh, you wanted to beat me up right after the match that I had in the Elimination Chamber. That's not fair. I deserve a real title shot.
We should have saw that coming after the Elimination Chamber, though.
That's what I'm saying. Why though? But that's what I'm saying. Why? And then we get the rematch. But then you want to go out there and be stupid and antagonize a psychotic person that's sitting outside the ring watching the match and trying to figure out who his next opponent's going to be. Why do you pick on someone that you know he's going to fuck you up?
Same reason why I don't know. Because Daniel Bryan's confident in himself.
And Daniel Bryan could have eaten a whole dick for that match.
Oh, Jesus.
I was so glad that they kind of took him out in the beginning of the match. And I was like, you know what? I'm kind of upset that Jay's out there, but when he started trashing Daniel Bryan, I was like, yes, this is what we need to see. Roman versus Edge, that's it. Keep his ass outside. But then Edge went and destroyed Jay, and then that's it. I was like, all right.
Jay needed to be destroyed. And that's another thing too. I don't like the fact that Jay, the ending could have been better if it wasn't Jay. If it wasn't Jay, and if it was if it was his twin brother that jumped in,
that's what I'm saying. Here's where amazing writing comes into play, and this is where a lot of people fail. I don't know if he's still injured or not, or whatever the case may be. But if Jimmy were to come out and he were to fucking meddle in that shit, I would have been like, wow, after all that time that he was like, yo, bro, we family, don't do this. And he saw his brother getting trashed, for him to come out and be on Roman's side, that would have blew my fucking mind.
That would have been better.
We got Jay returning after he got his ass whooped.
Yep. And then actually acknowledging him right then and there.
Come on, bro.
That would have been a great finish. That would have been a great finish.
Come on, bro. I would have loved to see Jimmy come out. I would have been okay with that. I would have been okay with him coming out, interfering in the match. And then he would have crowned him with the delay. Yeah. I would have been like, you know what?
Yeah.
That's how you close out a fucking WrestleMania.
And then you have not only
you would have had the family in the ring celebrating.
Exactly. You have Jay come out, you have Jay come back out, and you have Jimmy standing there, and then you have Paul Heyman, and then he just raised the fucking thing, and it's just like, you know, and he's just like telling the crowd, acknowledge me, and that would have been a fucking great ending.
That would have been a great ending. But the fact that we got Jay and the fact that we still had Daniel Bryan part of that match and all that shit,
I didn't mind
it was a shit show. And I can't wait to see what happens now, because again, not fair to Edge. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
The fact that he should have, and the only reason why they added Daniel Bryan to this match was because they felt that Edge wasn't going to be able to handle everything on his own because he's old. And I feel like that's such a disrespectful thing to even think about, for the simple fact that Edge is an icon, and Edge definitely held his own. The fact, how do you sit there and think that, or even try to like have that rumor go about, but then you're gonna put him in number 1 in the Royal Rumble and have him win the Royal Rumble?
It
makes no sense to me.
It's the same as, you know what it is? I think it's the same reason why how we felt with Batista being involved with the whole Randy Orton and Daniel Bryan thing.
But at that point, Batista made no sense to be there. He was just there because he was there.
And he's the one that tapped out.
He was there to be there. He won Royal Rumble,
which
so
nobody wanted. Nobody wanted.
He earned the opportunity to win.
Nobody wanted that.
Nobody wanted that. Everyone wanted Daniel Bryan. Mm-hmm. So that's the reason why they added him into that match. And then they added him. See, that's the only time that I accept when they decide to add it, when they deserve to be there.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Daniel Bryan does deserve to be in the main title picture. But not in that circumstance. Not when you already have someone who's been there. Yesterday was literally 10 years to the day.
Yep, Edge retired.
Edge had to retire and relinquish his title.
That he never lost.
Essentially, he lost that shit. And the only reason why I tell you is for two reasons. Jay interfering and Daniel Bryan being in that mix. Oh, I'll add a third one. Poor fucking writing.
Actually, technically, Edge really had the match to himself towards the end.
He really did. And that's what I'm saying. Like, we literally saw what happened at the end of Fastlane, and we got a concerto because he didn't even get a chance to do it. He just beat the hell out of them with the chair.
He hit Daniel Bryan with it.
He hit Daniel Bryan with a concerto.
So Daniel Bryan's completely out from this point.
Yeah. And then you have the nerve to let Roman Reigns hit Edge with a concerto. What?
That fucked me up. He hit Edge and he hit Bryan, right?
I don't recall it. I just that whole ending of that match got fuzzy for me, and I couldn't deal with it. And I'm telling you, bro, like that's.
You may not like the last. Listen, I like the match itself.
The match itself was great.
The outcome of the match. The outcome of it.
The outcome of it, yes, I love the outcome too. I don't care about the outcome. I'm okay with the outcome. I handled the outcome. The interference is what I didn't like.
I agree.
I mean, at that point, you could chalk this up to all the other, other matches.
I mean, you could literally put this in the same light of like Biggie and what's the name, but they had a great match, but at the same time, the interference at the end from out of nowhere. Like Jay, let's be real, Jay was there, but he got taken out. So Jay coming back out is out of nowhere. Same thing with Dabakito, out of nowhere. Alexa Bliss, out of nowhere. What the fuck is going? Where's these out of nowhere things happening? Like Alexa Bliss, so Bray Wyatt, so the Fiend loses to one RKO because he sees Alexa Bliss out of nowhere. Dabakato, why? Out of nowhere.
And literally, we had a night of out of nowheres.
Yes. And sometimes you only need one. You don't need three.
The first match, like you start off very weak in the beginning. You start off very weak. The next match, decent. The match after that,
oh yeah, there was another out of nowhere. Shane versus Braun Strowman.
Oh, with these people attacking him in the beginning?
Yep. That was out of nowhere.
That was out of nowhere, but he still won the match.
That still counts as 4 out of nowhere. That's 4.
He still won.
He still won. He still won.
But I'm talking about so we had out of nowheres that literally cost that person the match.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
There's 3.
That's 3.
In one night.
And with
one night.
So I want to see. I don't care about the other 2. I want to see what they do with Alexa Bliss. I want to see, and I'm not.
Abigail.
I want to see what they do with that shit because that shit is gonna be great. I know that for a fact. I know that closing and the recap for all that is going to be phenomenal.
So now
I'm not upset. I'm not upset at the situation. I'm upset at how they just ended that match because it was just 1, 2, 3. It was super quick.
Same, but I don't know if this is the part that fucks me up because I expected a long match with Bray and Randy.
Yeah.
And I'd expected some destruction as well.
But that's what I'm saying. What they decided to do was they gave us the Fiend that we first got, the Fiend that was indestructible, the Fiend that would get slammed on a table and then sit back up like nothing happened.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like
awesome.
That's what we got, and that was great. That was great to see. It was refreshing to see that we got that super indestructible being again. But then to get taken out by RKO because he was distracted.
Yeah, but now what do you do with that? What do you do with that?
You scrap the story. Randy Orton did his thing. He won. He got nothing to do with that. But now you figure out
what do you do with the Fiend though?
Now you figure out what happens. Now you figure now is when that story unfolds and you figure out who's doing what. Why did Alexa Bliss come out? What was she? Because she had a thorn crown on and was bleeding black.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So we don't know what that entity was.
That's Sister Abigail.
Of course. I mean, we're most likely we're gonna get more, but we're gonna see that unfold a lot more now.
Yeah.
Rumor is also they're looking to put a mask on her too. Dope. I want to see what they do with her.
No, they don't need a crown for her. They don't need a mask. They don't. But the fact that they've been changing her and they've given her this persona, I've enjoyed it for this whole time. If they give her a mask, that's only just going to for sales for toys. You know that, right?
It is what it is. I respect everything that they've done with this storyline, and the way that they ended it is just the ending of that match, but it's not the ending of the Fiend and it's not the ending of Alexa Bliss. So we're gonna see more of that, and we're definitely gonna see some of that tonight. All right.
So what you were saying. All right, so let's give a rating. Let's do 1 to 10. I like 1 to 10.
Out of the whole thing.
No, do night one first.
Night one.
9
out of 10.
I'm with that.
And the only reason why I'm giving 9 out of 10 because that tag team turmoil match was a little shaky for me.
And for me, I think it should have went to the Riot Squad, but yeah.
Yeah, it should have went to the Riot Squad. Night 2, you start. And I know I'm gonna give it a lower score than you, so just give me your score.
6 out of 10.
You know what? I agree with you on the 6. What about overall for the whole event?
Too many. There was way too many out of nowhere moments for me. Too many. There's 3 of them.
Just night 2 alone I'm telling you, night 2 alone was disappointing.
Out of the whole event, the whole thing.
If you had to give a score 1 out of 10 for the whole event, what would you give it? If you had to sit there and watch that 7 hours altogether,
probably an 8.
An 8?
Probably like 8, yeah, 8.
Nah, I probably would have got a 7 at that point.
I'm still on I'm still between I'm between a 7 and an 8. That's why.
So 7.5?
Something like that, yeah.
Okay.
Because the one thing is I got to give it to night 1 doing what it did.
That's what I'm saying. Night 1 was great. And it's the same thing with NXT Takeover. Night 1 was phenomenal.
That's why I got to give.
How do you go from being so high energy and so crazy and so unbelievable to even have a celebrity match that was just great all around?
That's why I got to give it that's why I said I'm between a 7 and an 8 because. The night 1 was great. The last match for night 1 was just. Even the last match for night 2 was good, except for the ending.
It was good, and I'm not gonna knock it. It was good. The last 2 matches were great.
I like
Rhea Ripley were great.
I like Big E match, but I didn't like the outcome. A lot of outcomes I didn't like. So the match, if I'm going off on the wrestling itself, and everybody's going, yeah, it's definitely an 8. But the outcomes, man, some of the outcomes are not really.
So then 7.5.
Yeah.
All right. I could live with that for the whole event. 7.5, maybe a 7.5 though.
Yeah. It's just.
But night one definitely is like what? Probably
do
like
that. It's like do that. Do more of that.
Do more of that.
Do more of that.
Raw better be good tonight.
It's the Monday night after WrestleMania.
And last year's Mania, Raw after Mania was Barsuda.
Well, they had no crowd.
So what? You think you're gonna have a crowd tonight? No.
Yes.
No.
I think so.
No. Tickets would have been on sale.
Huh?
It's going back to the Thunderdome. There's no crowd. Crowd was only for WrestleMania. Now they have to figure out what type of schedule they're gonna have. AEW already got a schedule.
Every AEW's been had a schedule.
AEW got a schedule, and they're going back to it, and they're honoring tickets that were already bought.
Yeah. Oh shit! So they're gonna be in Newark soon then?
No,
because they were supposed to be in Newark.
They've only announced about 4 dates.
Okay. Because before COVID, they were supposed to perform in March in Newark, and then COVID hit. And I was getting tickets, and the tickets were really good, cheap.
Yeah.
But they're not traveling. They're just going to be where they're at then.
Listen, WrestleMania, whether you loved it or hated it had amazing moments. We laughed, we cried, we cheered, we booed, we did everything.
No, we booed.
I fucking booed. But at the end of the day, we got to see the crowd back. We got to see some normalcy. We got to see people crown champions that, you know, deserve every bit of that because of their hard work. We got to see,
except for Roman Reigns.
We got to see. I'm cool with Roman Reigns. I'm cool with that.
No, but I was okay. I'm playing, but I'm actually okay with Roman Reigns having the championship because when you think about it, anyway, just it's fine.
Yeah, I feel you, but you know, I get all that. But we got to see a lot of stuff that
we had to see Edge,
you know, was able to bring, you know, us together. Did you see the new opening for wrestling now?
For WWE? I didn't get to see it. No.
It's then, now, together, forever.
Oh.
And in the together part, they show the crowd. They don't show wrestlers. They show the universe. So I have to applaud WWE for making this attempt to bring the crowd back to, you know, the whole WWE universe. And
if they're in the Thunderdome, I'm just saying, hear me out. I'm just saying, if they're in the Thunderdome and NXT, even though it's a smaller arena, a smaller area, I mean, the Thunderdome is pretty huge. They could literally have wrestlers there, but the problem is they have nothing but TV monitors there.
Yeah, but you also got to understand that you can control the amount of people that are in a small building versus what you can control in a large building.
Right. But
so in an arena, you can allow more people, but it's going to be a little hectic for them to figure that out. Whereas they can just be like, okay, we can only allow 50 people extra in the building, or we can only allow 100 people extra in this building.
I would think 100 would be top.
So this is why NXT is able to do something like that.
I mean, when you say 100 people, do you count the crew?
No, that's after you count the crew. You know what I'm saying? So you can monetize that. You can't monetize the crew plus something that can hold 40,000 people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Something that can hold 40,000 people versus something that can hold maximum probably like 1,000 occupants, and you know that you need to have at least 200 people there for your staff. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think
It's
it's
a
going to be
fraction
like
of a
this?
lot of things. A lot
Do
of people
you,
and people are like, oh, Florida is open 100%. Yeah, but if you think Florida was open
oh
100%, we
shit.
wouldn't have seen Raw already with people there. We would have
Nah.
been seen that a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Problem is with Florida is that Miami, like, there's a lot of things going on with Florida that's very messed up. Florida's a messed up state in the beginning with.
Yeah, but that's neither here
That's
nor there. It's
but
just
they
the
but
fact.
yeah.
It's just the fact of again, if they're not at 100% and they have people there in the spot, you really have to be able to control how many people you can have there. Now, Raymond James Stadium already had the Super Bowl there a few months ago.
Yeah.
So and they had opened it up so that way they can have 22,000 people there.
Yeah. This WrestleMania was 25.
25,000 people they were able to do for that.
And the rest were cardboard cutouts.
Yeah, but you see what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then with NXT, you're in the performance center, and the performance center probably could only hold up to 700 people, probably.
Yeah, they probably, but they only let probably like 200.
And then at capacity level, you got to make sure that you got to account for your crew first, and then you could bring in people.
Yeah.
That's why they're able to have at least a handful of people in there.
Yeah.
So it makes it easier for them to do that way, which
do you
is
think
cool.
it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be? Well, I'm not sure if the WWE doesn't have a schedule because they're not.
They don't have a schedule yet, but they're getting close to one. And right now they have moved from I don't know where they were, but now they're in an arena. So the Thunderdome is going to have some type of fan interaction very soon. I don't know when, but
Yeah.
we're
No, what I
definitely
mean
going
is
to get
like
some
if
type
they
of,
do have a
especially how
schedule.
successful it was here.
Yeah. But I'm saying it's like
we'll
if
see
they
something
do
soon.
have a schedule, I got a feeling that I got a feeling that they may just do the screens again where everybody can watch from home, but on live, like, but on like pay-per-view, like events, like they'll have crowds.
We'll see, because I think that the idea is to have back to normalcy, or not, if not 100%, at least 50%. So we're gonna have a decent amount of people at these events going forward.
Depending on
But
what
we'll
state
just
they
have
go
to
into.
see when that happens, because
Yeah.
it's not open. It's not 100%, or it's not open everywhere right now.
Yeah, it's different states, different,
Florida is an exception. Texas is an exception.
Yeah.
But a lot of other places are still like, nah, fam, don't bring that shit over here.
Yeah, because not only are you bringing people,
so once they can figure that out, that's when we'll be able to start to see a crowd again. But until then, we're gonna get the Thunderdome. The Thunderdome's been working for them. I enjoy it. I don't have a problem with not being the only thing that I possibly have a problem with is the random audience track from here and there.
Oh my god!
Sometimes it's really good. Sometimes you have someone who's not paying attention. And to be honest with you,
I can't.
If you're gonna have an audio guy pay attention to that shit, this nigga needs to really be 100% paying attention to this audio track instead of fudging up a lot, because that's what we get. We get awkward audio, we get misplaced chants, we get all this crazy stuff. And
it's the weirdest shit in the world.
You haven't been doing this for months.
It's the weirdest shit in the world. I do not like the audio chants. It's just it don't work.
It works and it makes it normal, because at least we didn't have that awkward ass WrestleMania that we had last year. WrestleMania and a couple weeks after that, before they started bringing people into the Thunderdome, was awkward. I hated watching wrestling. I did not want to watch wrestling because it was too awkward. Hearing people getting slammed on the mat, hearing people talk in the background. You can hear the announcer's voice echo in the room.
Yeah, you're the
what I'm saying?
Echo in the room.
It was weird to me. I like what they tried to do, especially with cinematic matches and things like that. But like they went, it's different. They tried. Now it's different. Now it's better. I like it. I'm enjoying it. I can watch TV again. But come on, we need to see more. And last night was proof that we can kind of come back to normal,
It's somewhat. It's just
normal
small
shit.
steps.
So we'll
It's
see what
small
happens.
steps.
It's definitely gonna be baby steps. But once they start opening up again, we'll see what happens. But
Yeah.
until then, Monday Night Raw is tonight. Uh Raw after Mania.
We'll see what
NXT
happens.
is tomorrow or
Yeah, because
today,
they moved
whenever
to
you guys are
Tuesday
watching
now.
it. Yeah, they moved to
Because they don't
Tuesday.
want to I guess the competing with the competing with AEW is not something they want to do anymore.
It's not a it's it, I don't I heard it wasn't about that. It was I think it was scheduling conflicts or something like that.
With who?
Um I beats the hell out of
Who
me.
else? Who else has like scheduling conflicts with what though? The only
I
other conflict they have is with AEW because it's on the same fucking night. What
Yeah,
was?
but AEW chose to put their shit on that same night. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
AEW chose that. That was, but it wasn't a fact of any of that stuff. So I
Well
mean,
now
if
we
it was, it was, and we really don't know the whole story. But Triple H had an interview, and he was like, "We're simply moving to another night because we can. We don't want to be on Wednesday nights anymore."
hmm, well.
So
I guess we'll see how Tuesday night is without them competing with another wrestling
with
organization.
another brand.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. We'll see what
Also,
happens
it's
with a lot of
good.
things.
Also, it's good because if they're not on the same night as another company, they can really see their numbers skyrocket or dwindle. Because you can get that Tuesday night money. Because
Plus, I get a chance to watch NXT instead of fucking having to sit here and do True Story Bro podcast, which is what we record every Wednesday, and I get to miss AEW and freaking NXT every week.
I
I
don't. I
enjoy
still watch.
watching NXT. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know about AEW. I've seen a couple of episodes here and there, but it, it don't get me excited. I mean, just to see older wrestlers, yeah, cool, but
Not all of them are older
nah,
wrestlers.
not all
That's
of
why
them are,
you
are,
don't
are
watch
good.
AEW.
I don't want to see Sting. I don't want to see Sting no more.
Not everybody's old. Not everybody's an older wrestler, man.
Yeah. So it is what it is. NXT, I could do with NXT. NXT storylines are amazing.
Yeah.
And this is gonna be an NXT after
AEW got some.
takeover.
AEW got some good storylines. You just don't pay attention to it.
Yeah. I
I
don't
do.
it is what it is. Anyway, this has gone over 2 hours too long. So
No, it ain't.
we love y'all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in and and tuning in to us and show us some love. If you have any comments, if you agree or disagree with anything that we had to say, please drop it in the comments. Likes. I mean, if you want to hit that dislike button, that's your opinion. Because these are just our opinions. You know what I mean? At the end of the day.
But I'm right about my shit. Fuck that. No. If you have
these are our opinions. If you don't like it, I mean, we got 2 words for you, but that's besides the point.
like, subscribe.
Like and subscribe.
That's the 2 words.
So yeah, guys. Thank you for watching once again. I'm Man Has No Nickname from True Story Bro Podcast. Roundhouse, he's about to head out too. Make sure you catch him streaming every day. His bitch hasn't streamed today. I don't know why, but
because I had other important shit to handle.
Oh my god. We've all been busy. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't know when this is gonna fucking come out. And it's funny because we've literally recorded this whole fucking week, 9 days of wrestling, and none of this shit is out yet. And that's just because everybody has lives. We have lives. We're sorry. So whether you caught this first and you went back and saw all of our other reviews for anything else later on, watch that shit, share that shit, show everybody that shit. It don't matter when this shit comes out because it's still gonna be great. I still watch shit that was from weeks ago because it's the first time that I'm seeing it. So come by, watch it, share, like, do whatever y'all gotta do. We love y'all. Bye.
Latest.